During the Korean War, South Korea narrowly secured its survival with the help of US forces. Since then, the nation has achieved a level of economic growth so miraculous, it's often called the miracle on the Han River. Today, its economy dwarfs nations like the Philippines, Thailand, and Myanmar, countries that once provided aid to a struggling Korea. But has this hyperspeed growth left a scar on the national psyche? Today, I want to introduce you to a business that is perfectly normal in Korea, but may look utterly bizarre to the rest of the world. What do you think this is? This word stands for marriage. This is information, and this is company. A marriage information company. It is a business that matches men and women for marriage. However, it is a far cry from the matchmaking agencies you might know. These companies provide information on potential partners as a commodity, allowing clients to screen their future spouses before even meeting them. Let's look at how they collect this data. To gain membership, you must first spill your guts to a couple manager. The details are incredibly intrusive. Your occupation and net worth are just the beginning. You must disclose your height, weight, whether you smoke or drink, your hobbies, and even whether you have tattoos or surgical scars. Based on this, the manager assigns you a tier. While it varies by company, people are generally divided into tiers 1 through 15. Take a look at this male tier chart from one of these agencies. If you have a net worth of $7.5 million, graduated from a top 3 university, and stand 185 centimeters tall, congratulations, you are tier 1. But don't get too comfortable. If you're balding, that's a 10-point penalty. If you have a scar on your body, -5 points. Is your height suboptimal? If you're over 190 centimeters, you lose 5 points for every 2 centimeters over. Under 167 centimeters? That's also -5 points for every 2 centimeters under. Here is another chart ranking people by occupation, from S+ tier all the way down to F. If you work at a top-tier law firm, or if you're a high-earning plastic surgeon or a Major League Baseball player, you belong to the S+ elite. Do you work at Google? Google is a world-class company, right? Well, not according to this chart. You're barely a tier B. You can't even break into B+. The demand for information doesn't stop with the individual. Members want to know everything about the potential spouse's parents. Are they homeowners? How is their retirement fund? To these clients, a parent without a solid retirement plan is seen as a future burden. If one of your parents is a member of the National Assembly or a high-ranking governor, thank your parents, you've just been fast-tracked to Tier 1. They even check for genetic diseases in the family tree to ensure quality control for future children. Look at this profile of a woman who received a near-perfect score. Her father's occupation and family health history are clearly listed. She lived in a house owned by her father and drove a Genesis G70 registered in her own name. Interestingly, the profile notes whether she has ever been on a working holiday. Many Korean women spend a year or two in Australia on these visas. This woman never went, which is listed as a plus factor. I won't say why. I'll leave that to your imagination, as many Korean women are unfairly judged for this. Finally, under special remarks, it notes her grandfather was a professor at a US university and her maternal grandfather was a politician. She was, without a doubt, a Tier 1 woman. The marriage information industry in Korea began in 1991 and has only grown since. Even today, it remains one of the most lucrative businesses in the country. So why do people choose to be graded like meat? Why pay for a service that treats you like a statistic? The reason is simple. They want to marry someone of their own tier. Or, to be more honest, they want to marry up. But this doesn't mean they'll find a Prince Charming. A couple manager who matches a Tier 15 woman with a Tier 1 man would be fired immediately. In the eyes of these members, marriage is a capitalistic transaction. The goal isn't necessarily to strike it rich, but to ensure they never, ever lose on the deal.